My Rock Bottom Fitness owner, personal trainer, and MAT practitioner here at 2901 Laurier Street. Joining me is Nick Dupree. We're just having a casual conversation in a topic that seems to be common coming from MAT patients, physically active people, and also other personal trainers is what is my view around stretching? And I think the key in this is I don't necessarily have a view around stretching. I think we need to understand the importance that it has when we're applying force on a body or a muscle system. So I think it's important to recognize when you're performing a stretch on yourself, or if you're performing a stretch on other clients, that you're actually applying a force on the body or the muscle system. And there's a few different styles of stretching, and we're going to cover a few in a demonstration that we're going to do. Essentially, what we're going to perform here together is we're just going to take a look at a stretch. We're going to rotate the pelvis here. So Nick is actually doing his own. This is an active stretch. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll automatically test. So I tested the integrity of the muscle. So he's stretching an opposite muscle, and what I do is I am actively putting a force against the muscle that is the most shortened to see its ability to contract or respond to a force. So we'll do the same thing on the other side here. So as he's doing his own active stretching, everything, the integrity of the muscles seem fine. So I'm going to go in and do a passive stretch. I'm going to actually rotate the pelvis towards me, and I'm going to stretch him to 5-10 degrees more. And then I'm going to bring him back. We're going to do this on both sides. So this will give me a little bit more range to play with. So as he's doing his active stretching, so I'm going to get him to rotate his own hip towards me. Okay, he's got a little bit more range to go in, and we're going to see if this muscle can hold. And we're okay. We want to make sure that we don't leave him in a vulnerable position. Alright, so both sides, he's gotten 5-10% more in range, and the muscles are still responding well to an applied force, which is the opposite muscle. So, to me, this speaks to, okay, well, we don't have vulnerability in this type of range, so the body can protect itself properly. Now I know Nick has gotten some vulnerability in the shoulders as I've worked with him before. So I'm going to take a look at external rotation of the shoulder. So we're just checking range here. He's actually doing his own rotation. We're just looking to see how far it goes. So we've got vulnerability here. So his left shoulder, as we put him through an external rotation, he's a little bit limited here. We're not going as far, so we know that this is an area that can potentially be vulnerable, and we're going to apply a stretch on this. So we're going to do a contract and release stretch. So the opposite muscle that brings the rotation inward, we're going to do a contract and release. Okay, he's going to bring me relax, okay, and contract. Contract. Release. Contract. Release. So we're just doing this really quickly. A little bit more contract. Contract. And release. Contract. So now that we've performed a contract and release stretch, we should be able to see a little bit more motion or mobility in this. As he's going through, so this is the same as we had on the other side. So you know, if I were to leave this here and not see if we've impacted any of the integrity of the shoulder, that would provide stability. And in my mind, you know, anyone would say, okay, let's go out in the gym and perform our exercise. So I have a tool that provides me the ability to assess the integrity of the joint to see if it's stable and sustaining force. I'm going to go in, relax that, relax here. Okay, so there's a little bit of instability in here. I'm going to go in, wake this muscle up. If I don't do this, the tension will come back and we will lose mobility in that area, just because the muscle system will recognize the weakness in the joint. Now that we've woken up that muscle, we're going to get into the range. So what I did is I stimulated the muscle fibers within that range, and we've actually now gotten a little bit more mobility. We've got about 5% more than we did initially when we did the contract and release stretch. And now we've provided the shoulder with stability. So this is not, there's no give, there's no instability in that shoulder. So as you work with your clients, or as you're working on your own self and getting your body ready to go into the gym, what we did is we demonstrated a few different style of stretching, which is a passive style where I was stretching Nick into pelvis rotation and keeping the trunk nice and steady. And that was an example of a passive stretch and an active stretch working and not disturbing any of the stability within those ranges. And when we moved into the shoulder area, we've used a active and release stretch on the left shoulder, which gave Nick a little bit more mobility, but we haven't gotten the stability in that joint. So last thing you want is to provide yourself or your clients more mobility and violating the stability in the joint, because then that's just a potential for injury in those cases. So MAT has provided me the tools to be able to work with my clients in assessing the integrity of the muscle, assessing the ability of the muscle to contract properly as we apply force in their shortest position. And that leads to more stability in the joints, which then prevents any of the injuries that can occur as we're being physically active. So thanks for watching. Hopefully that sheds a little bit of light on my view, and that relates to stretching.